Today we're reviewing two tennis rackets sent to us by tennisexpress.com. We've got the Head Radical Oversize and the Head Radical Oversize Light. And these rackets were first made popular by Andre Agassi back in the day. Now, both these rackets use a technology called U-Tech. And the idea behind this technology is that it reacts to what you are doing. What does that mean? Well, most tennis rackets, the harder you hit the ball, the more the frame is going to bend at impact. The harder the collision with the tennis ball, the more the frame bends. Well, with the U-Tech technology, it's the opposite. The harder the collision with the tennis ball, the stiffer the frame gets. And what that means in practice is if you're trying to hit hard, you're swinging hard at the ball, you get a pretty hard collision with the tennis ball, frame gets stiffer because stiffer frames allow you to hit harder. But then if you slow your swing down and want a little bit more touch and feel, the frame is going to bend more, giving that to you. So now I've head out to the tennis court and I'm going to hit with both these rackets, and I'm hitting with the Radical Oversize to start. Now before I talk about the specs of the racket, I want to just briefly comment on my technique. I'm using a moderate swing speed and compact mechanics because I feel like this type of swing works well with this type of racket, these types of rackets. So the Radical Oversize is 10.4 ounces unstrung. It's a relatively light racket, and it's got a head size of 107 square inches. Pretty big head size, and it has a huge sweet spot. I felt like if I caught the ball off center, didn't really matter too much. The racket was extremely forgiving, and the frame is not particularly stiff, which meant that if I didn't hit it on the center of the strings, I wasn't going to feel it in my arm. Now the Radical Light Oversize is, as you probably have guessed, just a lighter version of the Oversize. It's 9 ounces unstrung, very light racket, 105 square inches, so the head size is a little bit smaller than the Oversize, but the Light still has a very big sweet spot and is an extremely forgiving tennis racket. And just like the Oversize, the Light Oversize is not a particularly stiff frame. So I would recommend these two rackets to an intermediate level player. If you have compact mechanics and a moderate swing speed, technique like the technique I was using when I hit with these rackets, then you might want to try them out. If you like rackets that are easy to swing, both these rackets very easy to swing, huge sweet spots, and extremely forgiving. Again, if I didn't catch the ball in the middle of the strings, still hit a perfectly good shot. And if you like a racket that's not particularly stiff, that you're not going to feel in your arm when you catch it a little off center. So if you're interested in trying out one of these rackets, you can demo them for free from tennisexpress.com. There's a link on this page that'll take you to them.